Today we're going to take a look at the best e-liquid to fill up your pod-based system or your low-powered starter kit like the E-Leaf iCare. How's it going, everybody? This is Andy with AskMallyVapes.com, and today this video is going to be a little bit different. I've been getting a lot of questions asking about what e-liquid should I use to fill up my little iCare or pod-based system like the Wismec MyJet, which I've got right here. I've got a few of these little devices right here. I've got the Juul, this is the iCare Mini, Wismec My Mini, and then the Wismec MyJet on the far left. Now, a lot of people were picking up these devices, filling it up with their regular nicotine that they use instead of bumping it up a little bit. Say if you normally vape on 3 milligram, they were filling up their little portable, small, low-powered system with 3 milligram, and it just wasn't delivering the satisfaction that they were looking for. So some people did try to step it up, maybe from 3 to 6 or 12 milligrams of nicotine in here. And while that might help a little bit, I've personally found out that nicotine salts are the answer for these little low-powered devices right here. And you might be asking yourself, what is nicotine salt-based e-liquid? Well, it's a little bit different than your standard e-liquid. It doesn't use the free-based nicotine that a lot of these companies use. It uses a salt-based nicotine. And I am no scientist, but they do say that these salt-based nicotines, your body absorbs it a bit quicker, so it gives you that nicotine fix a little bit faster. And that's why products like the Juul, they use a 50 milligram nicotine inside of here, but it doesn't feel like 50 milligrams. If you normally vape 3 milligrams and you were to take a few vapes off this, you would never guess that it was 50 milligrams. You might say, oh, that tastes like a 12 milligram nicotine or something along those lines. You wouldn't guess that it was a 50 milligram solution inside of here. Now some e-liquid companies have figured that out, and they have made some e-liquid specifically designed for these small low-powered devices like the iCare, Wismec My Mini, and the Wismec MyJet right here. Now, I have personally tried 2 different nicotine salt e-liquid lines, and out of the 2, we did pick up my favorite one on AskMallyVapes.com. We do have 4 flavors available right now. They come in 30 milliliter bottles, and you can pick up a 30 milliliter bottle for $19.99. All the links will be down in the description of the 4 flavors we have for this nicotine-based salt e-liquid. And right now we have 4 of the different flavors. We have a vanilla custard, we have an RY4, which is a classic sweet tobacco. I'm sure a lot of you guys have tried an RY4 liquid before. We have a straw melon taffy, which is a strawberry, watermelon, and saltwater taffy mix, which is my favorite. And then close behind that one, my second favorite is the blood orange lemonade. And I've got that e-liquid right now in both of these devices. I've got it in my Juul pod, and I've got it in the Wismec My Mini. So at Ask Mally Vapes, the company that I did decide on carrying for now is the Mr. Salt E line. Right now we are sold out of the 25 milligram version, but we do have the 45 milligram version in stock, and that's what I'm using. In the Juul, they use a 50 milligram, but Mr. Salty used 45 milligrams. And the reason why Mr. Salty went with 45 milligrams for their highest option is because the devices like the My Mini and the iCare, they're a tad bit more powerful than the Juul. So 50 milligrams was a little bit overwhelming to them. They did try out a bunch of different options, and 45 milligrams they decided was the best for all these devices. And like I said, I've got it in this Juul pod right now, and it works like a charm. So right now, like I said, I've got this Mr. Salty 45 milligram, the blood orange lemonade. I've got it in my Juul pod right now. I'm gonna go ahead and have a vape on it. This is a 60-40 blend, and I've found that that works great in these devices. This is the My Mini, which is nearly identical to the iCare, a few slight changes to the iCare. So let's go ahead and have a vape, starting off with the Mr. Salty in this Juul pod right here. So that vapor production out of the Mr. Salty inside of the Juul pod is pretty much identical to the vapor production you're going to get out of the Juul. And I do find the draw pretty much the same in regards to the throat hit. A few of the Juul flavors have different throat hits in them, and that's going to be the same for the Mr. Salty. A couple of the flavors have different throat hits. Some are stronger, some are not as strong, even at the same nicotine contents. And that just comes down to the flavors used inside of them. Now, like I said, I also have the blood orange inside of this My Mini right here. Let's go ahead and have a quick vape on the blood orange inside of here. So as you guys can see there in these low powered devices, the vapor production is still very good with this Mr. Salty, just like you'd be getting with your normal nicotine solution inside of there. So the vapor production isn't really going to be harmed when you're using this nicotine salt e-liquid. It just packs a much bigger punch, and that's what a lot of people are looking for with these low powered devices. One thing to note is I would never recommend sub-ohming this liquid. I would not put it in like the Baby Beast. I wouldn't put it in my Cup Tea. I wouldn't put it in any sub-ohm device. If you're using like a Nautilus with a 1.8 ohm coil, yeah, I think this would be a good e-liquid for you to try out. I think it works even better on these small devices like the iCare and the My Mini inside of the Juul pod, and then inside of the Wismec MyJet as well, inside of these pods, or you can do it with the Von Earl. all of these pod-based systems can be refilled with this e-liquid, and it just offers a fantastic vaping experience. The reason why I started checking out this nicotine-based salt e-liquid is because I really like the Juul, and I know refilling it with your standard like 6-12 milligrams, it just wasn't doing it for me. And the PG-VG ratios, it's a little bit off for it. I think the 60-40 works really good inside of here. If I was to use the Juul exclusively throughout a day, it was the only device I used, I'd probably go through 3 or 4 pods a day. So if you're buying the refill pods, that's about 20 bucks a day on pods. That's not a very feasible option. So I did a little bit of research and I came across these nicotine salt-based e-liquids. I was ecstatic to try them. I was a little hesitant about them because I didn't think they were going to be as good. Turns out they are 100 times better than using your standard e-liquid. And if they're not exactly on par with the Juul, it would just be a notch below. I personally think the satisfaction is just as good as the nicotine solution inside of the Juul, and the flavor on these I think is 100 times better than the Juul flavors. That new mango flavor for the Juul is absolutely wonderful, but this blood orange lemonade, for example, way better than the fruit flavor, and I would say it's better than the mango as well, but that mango is really good by Juul. So if you have one of these little portable stealthy options and you're just not getting that satisfaction that you're looking for, or maybe you're having leaking issues, gurgling issues, something like that, I would highly suggest trying out this Mr. Salty. All the links will be down in the description there to pick it up on AspenValleyVapes.com. We will be adding some more flavors too, and I've also got some other nicotine-based salt lines coming in that I'm going to try. And Mr. Salty is the best as of right now that I've tried, but remember, I've only tried 2 different lines, so that's not a very large sample size. But it definitely works, and I have been filling up my Juul pods, and I've also been using it in my iCare. That's pretty much going to wrap up this video though. Pretty quick one here today. If you guys have any questions on the Mr. Salty liquid, nicotine salts, anything vaping related, please leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to get back to you. The links will be in the description down below to check all these 4 flavors out on AspenValleyVapes.com. If you have any other suggestions for a nicotine salt-based line, please let me know. I would love to try them out. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. And as always, vape on.